What's happening, folks? Today we've got a Chevy S10. It's a 2003, but this part should be the same from 1995 to, I want to say 2004 or 2005. Can be the same on the CK trucks. C standing for two-wheel drive, K standing for 4x4, S10, smaller versions, S10 Blazers, S10 pickup trucks, C's and K's, blah, blah, blah. We're going to change the vehicle speed sensor in it, and it's pretty simple. You folks can do it in your driveway, and like I say, if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. Now, the problems that we're going to experience and the problems that you're having are probably transmission shifting issues, and this part's about 30 to 40 bucks. You know, interwebs, it's about 20 bucks. So we're going to go ahead and change this thing out. You could get an ABS light from this. You could have a speedometer that's working erratically. Most of the time, it's going to be an intermittent situation, meaning that sometimes in the morning it won't shift. Sometimes when it's warmed up, it won't shift. Now, you can reset the code, and more than likely it'll shift for a period of time and then go back into limp mode, so you can drive it home and do it in your driveway. And all you're going to really need is a new sensor and a crescent wrench. It's pretty easy to get to, possibly a jack. The one I'm working on is a ZR2, so it's raised up pretty high. I doubt I'm even going to have to jack it up. Now, they have two different styles of this sensor. One is a metal body and one is a plastic body. The one that's a plastic body is a 3/4 inch socket, and the one that's a metal body is a 1 inch socket. For the four-wheel drive version, we're going to enter in about halfway through the driver's side door on the driver's side. For the passenger side version, we're going to enter in halfway through the passenger side door, and it'll be located on the tail shaft. Now, if we look here near the cross member and where the drive shaft goes into the input shaft, we're going to see that sensor up here. This one has two clips on each side that we need to release, and then we should be able to release the connector. We want to watch for oil and dirt built up down here, because that means our seal isn't working well. And if you have that, just put some dielectric on it. Should be pretty easy. Mine didn't leak anything at all, but it wouldn't hurt to put a catch pan underneath there just in case. If you're unsure of which one you have and you don't want to pull the sensor out prior to checking it, you can take the VIN number and take the last 8 of the VIN number and call down to the GM dealership, and they'll tell you exactly which one you have. Okay, so when you get underneath the vehicle, if you have the plastic style that has one little clip that pops off the top of there, this is going to be a 3/4 inch socket to get that one out. If you have the clip, the electrical connector that pops off on each end, that's going to be a 1 inch socket. Now, I've had a lot of guys over the years tell me, well, it's stuck to something because it's a magnet, and that means it's good. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good just because it sticks to something and doesn't come up real easy, because this is an intermittent one and this is a new one, and they both seem to have about the same amount of magnetism to them. Usually, if there's something wrong with it, you're going to have some debris and stuff on the end of it like that was, and sometimes if it's an intermittent situation, you can just clean that debris off the end of there. Or we could take a Q-tip and clean along the pickups. Now, if you want to clean that out, all you do is look inside there, and you're going to see some little teeth, and you can take your Q-tip and clean up inside there. You'd have to have the truck in neutral and move it, so obviously you would want to be able to push it when you do that, just to get the little wear material off that transmission, probably from years and decades of use. I don't have to see the teeth to know how to clean them. I can feel them at the tip of the Q-tip. It's pretty easy. Yeah, it's not too dirty inside there. You'll make sure your gasket's on there before you go to insert your new part. Careful not to break your connector as you put your socket on there. And I'm not going to put a ton of effort into this. I'm only going to use 2 fingers. Then that way I can kind of limit the amount of torque I put on it. And once I'm able to not pull it down any longer with these 2 fingers, should be good to go. Now we'll plug the connector in, check for leaks, and hopefully everything works correctly. If it doesn't work correctly, we need to get a wiring schematic, go through the flow of diagnostic, check and see if we got a bad instrument cluster, or if there's something wrong with the wiring, which is highly unlikely. Wires don't just lose connection. There's always an outside source, like a window leaking, water in from the windshield getting in between the connectors and corroding the connectors. It just doesn't happen for no reason, people. If you have the flap style, make sure both flaps are pushed down on the connector. Well, we got that sensor back in there, and that thing was shifting like a dream. Before, the problem we were experiencing was in the morning time, it wouldn't want to shift up into third or fourth gear. Sometimes it'd shift into second, sometimes it wouldn't. And the reason that was happening was because the wires on the inside of the sensor were heating up and expanding and making the sensor work correctly, but it was just a defective old sensor. So hopefully this video helped you folks. My name's Clay with The Clay Way. I believe my job here is to inspire and empower people just like you to do things themselves. And remember, if anyone else can do it, I promise you, you can do it too. If you've got a question for me, I answer all of them for absolutely free, as much as I possibly can. You can look me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I don't care about your baby mama drama, but I may be able to help you fix that whip. And if my video was helpful and you want to help my channel out more, please smash that join button, click that subscribe, share these videos, and give me them old sweet thumbs up. And at nighttime, when you're thinking about going to sleep, just turn that volume down and let these videos play. Remember, don't be the next to them, be the absolute first of you. And if anyone else can do it, I promise you, you can do it too. God bless, folks. Have the absolute best of days.